Salute Black Goose TV family. What's good with it? Y'all already know why I'm here. We got a reaction video up in this joint. And look, I was just telling myself before this even started, I was trying to hype myself up. I was like, let me give the people the energy they deserve. And I was trying to figure out what type of energy that should be. And I got it. Right? I figured it out. I got to give y'all that Jamel Charlo energy. Like what? I got to give you that energy. You know what I'm saying? That's the only energy that y'all deserve when it comes to these reaction videos is the straight Jamel Charlo energy. Where I'm just ready to snap. Y'all say the wrong thing. You better watch out because I'm going to knock out all this baby type shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, to the seriousness, man. I'm going to be reacting to Showtime'S Espinoza. He's over there. He helps run things. Big deal, all that type of stuff, blah, blah, blah. But it was asked a very particular question from the Fight Hype Boxing YouTube channel media. And it had to do with Spence and Crawford, whether or not there was negotiations, whether the fight is actually something that we could be looking forward to happening. We've been talking about this thing for 4 or 5 years, right? I remember I was a young lad, right? I was a young lad, under 25 type shit, out here still trying to find my way through, you know what I'm saying? Broke than a joke, thinking I ain't never gonna get nowhere in this life, right? And I was excited for the Spence Terence Crawford fight, right? That's the fight we have to see. I might be over exaggerating this a little bit. It hasn't been that long, but well, yeah, like four or 5 years, because like about 4 or 5 years we've been wanting this fight to happen. So now I'm here where I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the older side of the game. I'm pushing toward that number that I don't even want to be talking about, that dirty type shit. But life is good. I figured things out. I'm settled. I know what's going on. So but we're still trying to figure out if Crawford versus Spence will ever happen, if it is something we should even be looking forward to, or are we just going to continue as Errol Spence fans over here, Terence Crawford fans over here, to just keep on going at it and being like, oh, well, my fighter is better than yours, and you're just all talk, and you blah, 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 blah. Is that what they want to do to us, or can we actually expect some type of movement, some type of progress when it comes to the possibility of the greatest welterweight fight in history to be made? So let's go ahead and get into this reaction video. Let's see what Showtime'S Espinoza had to say. Let's see if he says anything that can make us hopeful for the potential opportunity of them two actually fighting, or this is some bullshit ass clickbait title and he gonna say some shit like, yeah, this fight is very possible to happen. I would love for the fight to happen. Errol Spence wants to fight, Terence Crawford wants to fight, and we're gonna do everything in our power to get it done. If he says that shit, I'm gonna be like, because we've been hearing that, right? But let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and play this thing and let me know what y'all motherfucking opinion is on this video. Let's go.
In the crowd, and look, I've been able to do some reporting on this. We know that there's been some preliminary talks between the Spence and Crawford camps, or at least intermediaries. Where does that?
So they have had preliminary talks or intermediary talks. So that's actually progress within itself. They've never actually been at this point. Anybody wants to say differently, y'all don't know boxing. At no point was Top Rank and PBC Promotions in talk to make the Errol Spence fight. The only thing, or excuse me, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight, the only thing that was discussed was a possible split, and that wasn't actually discussed between the two camps. That was made public. So that has to be a little bit of progress, hopefully.
That stand right now, how positive and confident are you that fight can come to fruition?
Well, it's very, very possible, and more possible now. But like I've said, it really, at the end of the day, is up to two things. One is, do the fighters want to fight?
So he said, so we're already going into the media trained answer, right? Because the first he said there's two things based around this. And before he said that, he said it's a possibility. It's much more possible now. Obviously, he's alluding to the fact that Terence Crawford is not tied to Top Rank, because a lot of people speculated the reason why the fight couldn't be made is because of the two different promotional companies. Now, people, I want to correct you guys on this. When you say, hey, the fight wasn't being able to be made because Terence Crawford was with Bob Arum, and Bob Arum doesn't work with black promoters, or he doesn't work with any other type of promoters, even though Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury happened, right? Okay. I'm gonna say that because people don't use their brain. But it's the fact that when you have two different promotional companies, you have a mega fight coming forward. The only reason they're going to be like, okay, let's do this, is because they know the amount of money they will make on the back end will cover for all of the cost that they are splitting on the front end, right? So if I'm a PBC guy, right, I can make Errol Spence versus Ugas, or I can make Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. Well, Errol Spence versus Ugas may do less numbers than Terence Crawford, but I'm not splitting anything with anyone. I'm not splitting gate sales. I'm not splitting pay-per-view sales. I'm not splitting merchandise sales. I'm not splitting all these different type of things. We're taking everything home that we make and profit it to the bank. Okay, so I can be exactly sure on my numbers. So if I say, hey, we're going to have to spend this much money in promoting and making sure that this Errol Spence Ugas fight happens and paying people and all this type of stuff, I know when I look at that back end number, well, if we hit this number, we're going to be good. We're going to make this amount of money back, right? You can't do that with something where you're doing a co-promotional deal with a Terence Crawford because, one, Terence Crawford's not my fighter, so I don't know the numbers he brings on daily. I don't know this, etc. So a lot of times you got to understand when these co-promotional deals happen across promotional platforms, we're talking about two big names. I'm not talking about a lesser name and a bigger name. I'm talking about two big names in Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. You want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your side because you want to be able to maximize a profit that is once in a lifetime to come, right? Now, I might be over-exaggerating saying once in a lifetime, but this Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is big. So if I'm Bob Arum, I got to make sure I get my cut. Not my Bob Arum's cut, but I got to make sure we're getting enough money so that when we do everything split down the middle with you, PBC, or 60-40 or whatever it may be, we can get back when we need to get back, okay? So that's just what it is. So when me hearing Espinoza start off by saying there's two things, do the fighters really want it? And that's his first thing. I'm like, that's one of the stupidest shits to start off with because that's telling me that you obviously there's something going on your side, PBC. Showtime, Errol Spence, because Terence is a free agent. He hasn't signed with anyone yet. And if he has, y'all correct me. And if he has signed with someone, it's not a big name because that would be everywhere in the boxing community, right? So you can't say does the fighters want it because we know Terence Crawford wants it. We know Earl wants it. Just be 100. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. Why is that such a hard thing to tell the fans? Why can't you be transparent? We are smart enough to know both of these fighters want it. And if you're going to try and discredit Terence Crawford and say that there's a possibility he might, or allude to the fact that, oh, he doesn't want the fight, I'm calling smoke and mirrors, nigga. Like you smoking 3 big blunt packs. For real. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go extra into the particulars when it came to that. But let's go ahead. Let's hear what the rest of you say. Because I had to stop because right off the bat when I heard that shit, I was like, man, cap. But let's go ahead. Let's hear what else he got to say. Let's get it.
And that is beyond a shadow of a doubt. Both of them do want to fight. And then the second point is
okay. So I just went on that whole entire rant, and it wasn't even necessary because he literally just said both of them want to fight. So salute to you, Espinoza. That's why y'all love me, right?
Everyone gonna be reasonable about the deals.
Let me write it back. I talk a little bit, but that's why y'all love me, right? I jumped to conclusions.
Reasonable about the deals. And look, is everyone going to be reasonable about the deals? And look, I'm all for fighters getting paid. Like everybody knows, that they put a lot on the line and they deserve it. But it's got to be a financially viable fight. So it's a big fight. Is it Mayweather-Pacquiao? It's not, and very few things are. But, if people are looking for Mayweather-Pacquiao money, then it's going to be a problem. But if people are realistic in getting a fight done, then a deal can be made. And so I think that's really the issue now. It comes down to, okay, we're past the conceptual part. What are the numbers? What's it going to take to make this fight? And that's where we're at right now. And I'm not pointing fingers and saying anybody's not being unreasonable, but that's what we need to figure out now. Is there a reasonable way to make this fight?
Right. Thank you so much, Steve.
So that's interesting. Hopefully, I really hope that this video picks up traction with you guys, especially the Terence Crawford fans, especially the Errol Spence fans, both of you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a Terence Crawford fan, and showing this really sheds a lot of light on a lot of things, and it really just comes down to how biased or how much marketing works for people, right? This entirety of time, we wanted to believe that it was the two promoters. It was the fact that Terence Crawford was with Bob Arum and Spence was with Showtime. That was what was keeping the fight from happening. That's what we always wanted to believe. That's what we were told, and a lot of people roll with that. So some people would be like Errol Spence, Terence is scared, and then other people would be Terence Crawford, Errol is scared. But we're literally in a position where Errol wants to fight, Terence wants to fight. Terence isn't obligated by any promotional company, so he's nilly-willy free to move how he wants. And Espinoza even says they both want to fight, but he literally said, hey, they want a lot of money because this thing has been brewing in the pot for 4 years now. So they feel like the fight is bigger than what it really is. He's basically saying they're asking for the type of money, or I don't know who is, but somebody's asking for the type of money Floyd and Mayweather is asking for. And I'm pretty sure it's coming from both camps. And they're like, hey, guys, let's be realistic here. This is probably not going to do any more than maybe like 600 to 700K pay-per-views. We need to bring it down a notch. So it sounds like to me, it's not even about the split. It's literally about letting both of them know. I don't know who it is, whatever the case may be, but say, hey, we're asking way too much money. Let's bring it down. And to me, if Espinoza, he has no ties to Crawford, and he's saying both are willing to take the fight, it sounds like both of them are asking for a lot of money. And it sounds like this fight probably won't be made until both of them realistically come down a number. I don't know. I don't know what to take from this. This doesn't make me happy. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. This doesn't make me happy in any type of way. But what did you guys take from this? Did you guys take away from the same thing I took away from me? This is not good news. It sounds like they're trying to, both of them are asking for a good amount of money because they probably feel like this fight is bigger than what it is. I don't think this hits 1 million pay-per-views. Do y'all? I don't know. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder didn't do 1 million pay-per-views, so but they got paid very, very good money. We see one Anthony Josh. So it's like you know, it's an interesting case, but let me know what you guys thought. I've already had this video way longer than it should. Comment below, subscribe to the channel, like the video as always. Your boy Florence is out of here, but I'll be back. I may even go live tonight. I'm not sure yet.